Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Maggie.
And we are
Hopefully Awesome.
That's right, a positive place on the internet where we nerd out about all the geeky things we love. And today's geeky thing is Beast Wars. Beast Wars.
It's pie day.
Hey, Big Bot. You want to go get some pie?
What's pie?
Pie is another word for pussy. Hey, everybody.
Pussycat.
That's one big pussycat. Ain't that right, Tiger Butt? Yeah.
Shut up.
Cheetor. Okay, we're not even like 12 seconds into this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Going Back to Beast Wars, our weekly recap podcast where Maggie and I rewatch the entire series of Beast Wars. This is Maggie's first time seeing it. We have reached the end of season 2, and we are doing this, of course, in preparation for Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast.
A little bit. Yeah, I don't think that helped. So we're trying out some new lighting stuff because, you know, we always have like this whole bunch of like stiff showing up on the TV. And I was like, yeah, maybe we should work on that a little bit. But I don't think I like it.
I feel like I got a lot of pink on me.
Yeah, well, that's,
I'm trying to lean up.
It's okay. Hey, so welcome everybody. Well, it's Tuesday. We're live.
Is it Friday yet?
Thank God it's Friday.
Psych, it's
yeah. Yesterday we didn't get to go live till a little after 10. So today, you know, it's about 8:35, 8:39 when we went live.
And our child is not screaming, so we're good.
You gotta love daylight savings times. Am I right, Maggie?
Oh gosh, it's jacked up everybody. Everybody I've talked to, they're like, I haven't been able to sleep since daylight savings time, or kids just being cuckoo cuckoo.
Girls just want to have fun.
I guess so. I guess Viv just wanted to have fun last night. Matt read for like almost an hour and a half straight.
It's true.
Last night. Because me being in there with her didn't help the hot mess express. That is Viv.
So I just realized that I did not fill out the Rise of Beasts time frame.
Uh-oh.
Because for our countdown to Beasts. And so I'm trying to look it up real quick. And I am completely blanking on the release date, which is on June 9th. Okay. See, I typed in June 9th, but I doubted myself. Okay. Got it.
You got to believe in yourself.
Do you believe in love?
I can feel
okay, I got
it. Inside me say, show me enough now.
Kermie. So hey, again, this is Going Back to Beast Wars. You know what? Evan, let's go. Let's get into it. So we're going back to Beast Wars. Yeah. That's gotta be the worst intro that I like literally did even attempt.
Forget about it. We're going back.
It doesn't matter. We got to go back to Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Yeah. So we have reached the end of season 2, everyone. Earlier this week, of course, not earlier this week. Last week we had a watch along where we watched the episode. It was called Code of Hero. Thank you. And it's a great episode. And honestly, I'd forgotten how good it was.
Yeah.
But we watched that. That's still live. You can still go watch that on youtube.com/hopefullyawesome. But we watched that, and then after we finished it, I think it was either the next day or sometime we went ahead and watched the rest of the season 2 finale.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, shit went off the rails in the best way possible. It was insane. Like the amount of things that happen in the last 5 episodes of season 2 is just redonkulous. Emphasis on the donk.
The donk. Badonkadonk.
No.
Donkey Kong.
I mean, that's better.
Diddy Kong.
It's not.
Cranky Kong.
Oh my god.
I'm tired.
We're a Funky Kong household, okay? That sounded really loud. Did that sound really loud to you?
Not really loud. It's louder than usual.
Okay.
You might have bumped it a little bit today.
Yeah, I hope we're loud enough on everything. I hope we're. Yeah, we're loud. Enough.
We're loud.
Okay. Anyway, sorry everybody. Season 2, episode 9, Code of Hero, episode 35 overall. Remember, we are watching these. These are the 4K upscaled versions via Al's Replay, not affiliated with it, but go check them out on YouTube. What did you say?
Al's Toy Barn.
God damn it, Maggie.
I'll make that joke all the time.
All right. Original air date was March 9th, 1998. 1998. March 9th, 1998.
What a year.
25 years ago?
Yes.
25 years ago. I watched the Code of Hero. Did you know it actually had two premiere dates? So because one was shown when it first premiered on Toonami.
Ooh.
Toonami had some premieres. And I guess they got to premiere the back half of season 2. I don't know if they premiered more than that, but and then the second premiere date is for when it was in syndication.
Yeah.
But then Fox Kids got it, but I guess that at that point it was already reruns because they were playing it concurrently with Beast Machines. I digress. So I'm going by the original first premiere date, not any subsequent premiere dates. So just know that all of these were on Toonami.
All right.
Which is really cool. And I think it was the Toonami that Moltar hosted. Remember when Moltar hosted?
Was that the guy from Space Ghost?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, hey, I'm Moltar.
Yeah. I'm
That's a terrible Moltar impression.
Vaguely remember him doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was CG.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they got Tom in there. Mm-hmm. And he was great.
Now, I mostly remember Tom.
Tom was great, honestly.
I think I caught it once with Moltar, but I was too young.
I remember, I think when Moltar did it, they had Beast Wars and like SWAT Cats and some other shit. Like it was
SWAT Cats.
It was before Toonami was anime. It was just action cartoons.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not what no. When I think of Toonami, I think of three things. All right. I think of Tom. I think of Dragon Ball Z. And I think of Daft Punk. Okay. That's Toonami.
Toonami to me is Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Inuyasha.
Card Capture Sakura.
I couldn't get into that.
That's
weird.
There was a Kids WB version of Toonami, and it was really weird.
It was.
Yeah. Like, they took over for, like, a week. Mm-hmm. And, like, but they didn't change anything. Like, they didn't play, like, Dragon Ball Z. Like, they still played friggin' Pokemon and Jackie Chan Adventures. It was like...
They're like, look at us trying to be extreme.
Yeah. But no,
we're not.
It was literally like, Tom was like, oh, I parked my ship over here at Kids WB or something. It was something stupid. I don't know. But they had
That doesn't make any sense.
They had these music videos that they made. And one of them was called No Nagging by Froggy Mix. And I'm pretty sure it was set to Card Capture Sakura. It's one of those, like, what are they called? Full motion videos? Mm-hmm. You know, where people just, like, they'd put, like, Vegeta powering up to, like, In the End by Linkin Park. It was basically that. It was just that, but official. From Kids WB / Toonami. Okay. I digress. So, original air date was March 9th, 1998. Written by Ian Weir. Previous episodes include Dark Designs and Possession. And, of course, Code of Hero. Directed by Bob Forward. This is the only episode that Bob directed. But as a writer, Bob worked on the following episodes: Beast Wars Part 1, Beast Wars Part 2, Fallen Comrades, The Trigger Part 1, The Trigger Part 2, Call of the Wild, The Low Road, Before the Storm, Other Voices Part 1, Other Voices Part 2, Coming of the Fusors Part 1, Coming of the Fusors Part 2, The Agenda Part 1, The Agenda Part 2, The Agenda Part 3, which we cover 3 of those episodes in the back half of this show.
Hooray!
So we're not going to cover all of those again.
Okay.
Because
that's cool.
We already covered it.
He's Bob.
He's Bob, everybody. Bob and Larry back at it again.
No Larry, though.
No, Larry. Larry doesn't pop up this week.
Bob.
Oddly enough.
Bob kicked him out.
Bob's holding it down for the home team. In a wild valley, a group of primitive
Homo sapiens.
It does not say Homo sapien. It says hominids.
Hominids, yeah.
Hominids. I went to a private Christian school. I wasn't taught any of this stuff. That's why I'm so smart.
But you are smart.
In spots.
In my heart.
In spite of the fact that I went to a private Christian school.
Hominids.
Thank you. Forage for food. A giant snake attacks two of their number, and the anthropods are helpless to stop it. At the axolon, a haunted Dinobot meditates on his sword and holds its blade ominously over his chest. But after a long moment of tension and hesitation, he casts it aside with a growl of frustration. Rhinox has been calculating the path of the transwarp wave from the planet Buster's destruction. It's traveling through time at an accelerated rate and will reach Cybertron in the present, thus alerting Cybertron to their location. Optimus Primal fears Megatron has made similar calculations, and the group realizes they need to increase their defenses. Dinobot, still somber, runs into Rattrap, who nearly goads him into a fight over his turning the disc over to Megatron. Rattrap stalks off, concluding that he thought Dinobot at least forthright. Dinobot is left to reflect.
Screw you.
But at least you've always been a dirty, stinking pred, but at least you knew where you stood. And now,
rodent.
Go Mets.
Screw your Mets.
Dinobot is left to reflect. Rattrap stalks off, concluding that he thought Dinobot was at least forthright. Dinobot is left to reflect that his past actions cannot be undone, but they may yet be mitigated. He arms himself and heads off into the wastes. Our dog is barking in the background, so if you hear barks, that's on our end. On aerial recon, Cheetor observes Megatron and Rampage out for a stroll. They drive him off with some damage, but Cheetor calls in the sighting to Dinobot, who promises to follow up. At his lair, Tarantulas has captured a tasty antelope for his dinner, but as he creeps up to the struggling beast, Dinobot bursts out of the ground, holding him at gunpoint. That's was the awesome.
Best part.
Like just out of nowhere, just like it was very predatorish.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, very Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator.
He used to be a Predacon.
Dinobot bursts out of the ground, holding him at gunpoint and demanding to know what information is on the golden disc. Tarantulas doesn't know. There are no more copies remaining, and Megatron is keeping the disc on his person at all times. Still holding him at gunpoint, Dinobot uses Tarantulas as his unwilling ride. The anthropods scatter and panic as Megatron flies overhead and lands. Rampage sneers that the Maximals will soon arrive from Cybertron, and that he anticipates Megatron's imminent demise. Megatron admits that's very likely, but only if history remains as it is. Yes. Megatron explains that the golden disc contains images recorded in the future, including one of a nearby mountain. Megatron has Rampage destroy the mountaintop. After a moment, the image on the disc changes to suit the altered reality, to Megatron's delight. Ha ha ha! Yes, there is no fate but what we make. Yes. Come with me, Sarah Connor.
No.
After a moment, the image changes. Dinobot observes all of this with dawning dread. Megatron has the power to change the future.
Bum, bum, bum.
The future isn't written. So make of it what you will. These are my kids, Jules and Vern.
Marty,
Vern.
It's your kids.
What? Did they become like assholes or something?
No, they're in trouble.
What?
You're the asshole, Marty.
This is getting heavy.
Oh my god.
The valley they are standing above, Megatron explains, spawned the human race. Their interference helped the Autobots win the Great War, thereby allowing the Maximals to rule over the Predacons today. But Megatron has a different history in mind. Summoning the rest of his troops, he orders them to annihilate the valley and its inhabitants. With the anthropods destroyed, the human race will never have existed.
Ooh. Let me tell you something. Those are the weirdest looking.
Hey, man. They've only had to design like
Their
robots up to this point. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that they were like, hey, make us some like ancient humans.
Hairy ancient human.
Yeah. Think about it.
With weird teeth.
While the valley, while Dinobot's back is turned, Tarantulas blasts him. Dinobot reciprocates by squashing him under a rock. Dinobot loves squashing these spiders under rocks. You know,
I don't blame him.
It's awesome. I'm just saying, like, it's his only move, you know?
Yeah.
Dinobot contacts Optimus, who orders him to maintain position, but Dinobot knows there is no time to wait. Negative. With his questions answered, Dinobot is ready to face his destiny. Dinobot moves in to attack the entire Predacon force single-handed. He blasts Inferno and Black Arachnia, stabbing the former for good measure. Stomps Waspinator, forces Rampage's cannon to backfire using Waspinator's head, and pummels Quickstrike with his bare hands. Quickstrike. But loses his weapons, suffers considerable damage, and drains most of his energy supply. His computer warns him that he must enter stasis lock to survive. A command with Dinobot overrides. Megatron confronts the damaged warrior, gloating over his near-total victory. When Dinobot starts to attack, Megatron reveals an anthropoid captive. The hostage is enough to make Dinobot halt. Megatron rebukes him for his weakness, but Dinobot is a warrior still. Forging a makeshift hammer from a rock and a stick, he knocks the disc out of Megatron's hand and frees the anthropoid. With the last of his energy, he summons one final optic blast, shattering the disc. Nearly mad with frustration, Megatron flees as the Maximals arrive. Rattrap gasps in horror at the sight of his comrade, while Cheetor douses the flames of the burning valley. Ha! Don't worry, guys, I'll put out this fire. When there's smoke. The Maximals gather around the fallen Dinobot, but it is too late to help him. Optimus assures him that he has saved untold lives yet to come. Dinobot exchanges a final round of barbs with Rattrap, but he asks them all to tell his story truthfully, both the good and the bad, and allow him to be judged accordingly. The rest is silence. With that, the proud warrior dies. Rattrap leads the others in a salute as Dinobot's spark leaves his body, with Primal wishing it on to the Matrix, there to join Cybertron's finest. The next morning, the Maximals hold a funeral for Dinobot. The flyers soar through the air in a salute as Rattrap and Rhinox dissolve Dinobot's remains. At the valley, a curious anthropoid, presumably the same one Dinobot rescued, finds Dinobot's hammer. He soon figures out how to use it to help gather food and to fend off predators, such as the giant snake. The anthropoid's yell of triumph echoes through the valley, and high above, a brief flicker appears in the void of space. The end. What an episode. Code of Hero. Probably the best episode of Beast Wars.
Yes.
Honestly. Like, the whole series is phenomenal, but, like, this episode really just transcends, you know? They didn't have to go this hard.
No.
Like, you know, they did not have to go this hard, but they're like, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna do what they did to Optimus Prime, but we're gonna do it better. And they did.
Oh no, I'm sad.
The death of Dinobot is more powerful to me than the death of Optimus Prime, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Slag.
That's what Eric said. Slag.
Hey, what's up, Eric? But no, like I mean, you know, we saw Optimus die in the movie, right? Like it was whatever, but like it just felt so anticlimactic, you know. It was unnecessary. Like It felt like Lana's parents. He could have just taken a step to the left. Like, dude takes shots all the time.
Yeah.
And like this one just so happens to kill him.
He could have just shot Megatron and just killed Hot Rod with it.
Could have took Hot Rod down himself, you know?
Yeah.
But so at least this one, they really like made a story worthy of killing off Dinobot.
Yeah.
You know, it was great.
Yes, it was.
You know what else was great, Maggie?
A word from our sponsors.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/hopefullyawesome.
That's right. At the $5 tier, you can have access to every episode we make ad-free and have your name listed in the credits of every video. At $10, you'll be able to get access to our all-new exclusive shows right here on patreon.com/hopefullyawesome. Those include Hopefully Weekly, a weekly show where Maggie and I catch up on all the things that's happened over the past week, both in our life and in the world around us. Family Game Night, a weekly show where Maggie and I will play a variety of board games, from Blockbuster Party Game all the way to Fast and the Furious Heist Game, whatever that is.
Highway Heist.
The Hopefully Awesome movie commentary that we'll do once a month, where Maggie and I will watch one of our favorite films and then record us talking about it over it. Kind of like a mix between Mystery Science Theater 3000 and, just us goofing off and talking about nothing related to the film. And lastly, Matt plus Maggie. This is our monthly show where Maggie and I talk about our relationship. I don't think we'll be giving any advice, but hey, tune in. It'll be fun. And if you want to go above and beyond at the $25 level, not only do you get everything that we've just talked about, but you also get a verbal shout out as our Patreon producer of the entire month. All this and more.
So sign up at patreon.com/hopefullyawesome today.
And we're back. Thank you for that word, Matt and Maggie. We will be sure and do those things. So now let's get into the next episode. Season 2, episode 10. Transmutate. Friend.
Elliot.
I love how during the break, I was like, don't worry, I'm going to speed through this next one. And I spent the past 30 seconds going, friend. Hurt. Episode 36 overall. Original air date was March 10th, 1998. Written by Christy Marks. This is the only episode, but did write another one that was never produced. Yeah. And I feel like I've seen that one come up quite a bit, so we might have to look into like what the point of that one was. Directed by Jay Faulkner, Sean Osborne, and George Semeliski. Previous episodes for Jay Faulkner: A Better Mousetrap, The Trigger Part 1, and The Low Road. The other two co-directors only co-directed this episode. Within the Predacon base, Megatron dozes in his quarters, an opportunity which Rampage uses to make a grab for his spark. His efforts earn him nothing but painful punishment and a sharp rebuke from the suddenly awake Predacon leader.
Guard.
You thought you could catch me, Rampage? No. Elsewhere, Rattrap, Silverbolt, and Cheetor are searching for another Predacon jamming tower in a mountainous, seismically unstable region. Megatron monitors them and sends Inferno and Rampage to deal with them. Worried about the growing earthquakes, Optimus Primal heads out to back up his teammates. A huge earth tremor emits strange energon discharges, knocking out Rattrap and Cheetor and burying them under a rock slide. The quake also uncovers a buried stasis pod, and Megatron immediately sends Inferno after it. Rampage follows.
Yes.
Thank you. Inferno arrives at the pod for the royalty, which is badly malfunctioning. Silverbolt arrives and takes him out of the picture. Rampage arrives, intrigued by the pod's contents, as its computer warns that deconstruction is imminent. He urges the powerful spark within to fight its way free. Yes, fight. Fight your way free. Your spark, yes, it calls to me. With a mighty shriek, the pod explodes, releasing its passenger.
This looks like something from a horror movie.
Rattrap and Cheetor free themselves, and behold the new arrival, a strangely misshapen, almost skeletal creature. Rampage is impressed. He urges the newcomer to destroy the Maximals. Silverbolt counters that we offer friendship. The new robot doesn't seem to know what to make of either side until Inferno returns, opening fire on the Maximals, but hitting the new arrival instead. In response, it unleashes a sonic shriek that shorts out the Maximals and drives Inferno off. As the last one standing, Rampage leads Transmutate away, telling it that he is its only friend. Away from the others, Rampage examines Transmutate. Inferno catches up and demands they return the creature to Megatron at once. Rampage is prepared to fight it out until Megatron sends a hollow communicator to speak with the new creature. When it can't even transform, he deems it worthless and orders it destroyed. Rampage pleads to give it a chance to destroy the Maximal to prove its worth, and Megatron agrees. Yes. Optimus, Primal, and Silverbolt split up to hunt for Transmutate, sending all the others back. Rampage uses Transmutate to lure Silverbolt into an ambush. He and Inferno blast the Maximal unconscious. When Transmutate hesitates to finish off Silverbolt, Inferno bashes it aside and prepares to finish the job himself. Transmutate responds by blasting him over the horizon. Primal arrives and buries Rampage. Silverbolt's intervention keeps Transmutate from blasting Primal in defense of its friend. Primal and Transmutate take Silverbolt away, Transmutate revealing that it can fly. Fly. Rampage breaks free and promises that Primal will not have the creature. At the Maximal base, Rhinox scans the creature and finds that it has that its malformed structure and data tracks make it dangerous to itself and everyone else. He recommends putting it into stasis, a suggestion that angers Silverbolt. As the team argues, Transmutate wanders off, then bursts out of the base in response to a call from Rampage. A still fuming Silverbolt stalks off. Optimus Primal orders the team to find Transmutate. Rampage welcomes Transmutate, but Silverbolt arrives and a fight ensues. With Transmutate watching unhappily as the two struggle, they eventually launch weapons. Transmutate lands between the opposing missiles of its two friends with a cry of "Stop!" Stop. Its energies destroy the missiles, but overloads the creature, destroying it. Rampage cradles the creature's head in his hands as its spark fades out. As Optimus Primal arrives, Silverbolt urges him to leave Rampage be, for in this moment, they are brothers, both mourning the loss. The end.
Of their friend.
I actually really like this episode.
The Transmutate really...
It's really freaking weird. It's a really freaking weird episode, but that's what I like about it. You know, I think it's just so interesting seeing like a Transformer that looks like that.
Yeah.
You know, like a kind of a human.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Did they make toys of it?
I mean, surely not. Like I can't imagine like the original run of toys had a Transmutate, but I could see them doing like a retro toy, you know. I mean, think about it. You can buy the coming out of our shells turtles.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to be able to buy Transmutate somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they made the Starscream with the crown that lasted all of 12 seconds. You know. So I mean, they got to have it somewhere.
Bye, Lucy. I was going to look up and see if they have a Transmutate.
If they do, we might have to buy it.
Oh God. I don't think I want that thing in my house.
Season 2, Episode 11, The Agenda, Part 1. Episode 37 overall. Original air date was March 11th, 1998. Written, of course, by Bob Forward. Directed by Cal Shoemaker. Shoemaker. There it is. Shoemaker. Coming of the previous episodes include Coming of the Fusors Part 2 and The Agenda Part 1. Rhinox tracks the Transwarp Wavefront, released by the destruction of the alien planet Buster, announcing it will arrive at Cybertron in a few hours and that the Maximals are going home soon. Can I pause for just a second?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, this thing, this Transwarp wave, right? It's going through time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they say it's hitting now,
yeah.
Like, that's all relative. Like, I mean, if it hits what the Maximals would know as their present back in, you know, if they were to go back to where they came from, back to the future, so to speak, right? Then, like, then it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't just mean like it's happening in the future. I mean that like if it's like like it already happened.
Yeah.
I can't even use words enough to make this make sense. Like the moment it happened, if what they were gonna do was gonna send something back, right, and to help the Maximals, right, because they received that beacon, that transwarp wavefront, right, then like it doesn't matter how long it took that to get there. It could take hundreds of thousands of years to get there. And, like, they're still going to have to time travel to save them. Yeah. So, like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It doesn't make sense.
Like, it's kind of like Bill and Ted. It's like Bill and Ted time travel. Where it's like, no, time keeps going forward. That's why you got to wind your watch. No. That is not how time works. That is not how time travel works. This is... You just don't know how to write time travel. Bill and Ted.
Just an update, guys. There's Transmutate toys. They're terrifying.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
They're really expensive, though.
Oh my god, I love it. It's become a dinosaur?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
It's from the Generations collection.
I'm almost not happy that it turns into a dinosaur.
But it doesn't even look like...
Yeah, that's not the right one.
But it's from Transformers Generations.
Mm.
Because wasn't that a show? Probably.
Yeah, see, that's the one I want. The one that just doesn't do anything and looks terrifying. Well, looks like those aliens from that John Travolta movie where their knees bent the other way. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Was it Phenomenon?
That
was the one where he was an angel, right?
No. You're thinking of Nicolas Cage, City of Angels.
No, I'm thinking of Michael.
Oh, whoa, gosh. I haven't thought about that movie in a hot minute.
How dare you, Maggie? How dare you?
Oh, Eric says there's a Build-A-Figure came out with releases for Beast Wars anniversary, and then there's a third-party figure.
Ooh, okay.
Trends are it's a couple of years old already. Oh, okay.
I'll need to look
Thanks
into it.
For the information. It still creeps me out. I'm sorry. I did not know you had just chugged out a Cheetor coffee.
Jesus. All right. Back on track here.
Hey, here.
What?
Give me the itty bitties. That way I have something to talk about when you do that again.
Found these for $1 at Five Below.
At Five Below. This is this itty bitty Bumblebee and itty bitty Megatron.
And there was an itty bitty Starscream, but Maggie stole him.
Yeah, I'm putting him on my desk at work.
Meanwhile, Megatron has made similar calculations and is less than pleased. Inferno reports that their attack on the early humans caused them to scatter, making their extinction an impossibility. Megatron decides to implement one final plan, a gamble, he notes, as his security cameras show Black Arachnia leaving the Predacon base. Silverbolt flies to a secluded location where he meets up with Black Arachnia, delivering to her a graviton generator. Mm-hmm. He once again offers her a spot in the Maximal ranks, but she refuses, telling him that she likes being a bad girl, and Silverbolt knows he likes it too, and they embrace.
Leg pop up.
Huh?
Her leg popped up.
Oh, like in the Vampire Diaries?
Princess Diaries, yes.
That's it. I knew it was the one that sucked. In another time, in another place, a Cybertronian outpost is violently rocked by the transwarp wavefront. The Trepidatious Council. Trepidatious Council convenes, having traced the wavefront signature back to Megatron. They detonate a Cybertronian satellite to make sure the maximal sensors don't detect the wave and send an operative to find and capture Megatron. Operating a special stealth-equipped transwarp cruiser, his orders are to terminate with extreme prejudice. Hard stop real quick. Like, okay, so this thing only travels in this direction.
Yeah.
And it's only like however big it is, right? So like it just so happened to be on the correct path to hit one of these satellites. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not how things work, you know? Like, I get it. This is a kid's show. I get it. All right. But still, come on.
That just reminds me of what Eric said in chat. Matt trying to explain time travel reminded me of the one scene in Spaceballs when they pop in the VHS to see what's going to happen in the movie.
That's awesome.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, okay, how are you going to explain this one, Matt?
One of these days, Maggie.
One of these days.
When we don't have anything to do for the Hopefully Awesome show.
I
just want to do a whole hour of trying to explain time travel and whether it's possible or not possible. And I mean like really. Man. Okay, like in reality. That's what I want to do. Because I'm of the belief, I used to be of the belief of Back to the Future logic, right? There's one timeline. There's one sacred timeline, right? Yeah. And like what you affect in one affects the other because it's just one, right? But now I'm not so sure. I think, honestly, oddly enough, after all these years, I think Dragon Ball Z nailed it. Like, I can't believe I'm saying that because I was like, this is stupid. This makes no sense. Trunks killed the androids in Cell, and then he goes back to where he came from, and there's the androids in Cell again. And it's because it was a different timeline. You know, there it is, 1985B, when Biff was in charge.
If he was only there in another time, in another place.
So yeah, back at the Axelon, the Maximals get ready for Megatron's inevitable final attack on their base. Waspinator and Inferno ready some attack systems, but Rampage decides to take the more direct approach and assaults Sentinel's shields with his weapons. The battle begins and the Predacons appear to be winning until reinforcements come from above. Megatron orders a retreat, and the invisible source of the Maximals' help lands. The Axelon's hatch opens, and Silverbolt's super doggy nose smells something. All the Maximals draw their weapons as two red lasers appear out of nowhere from the hatch. Optimus Primal finally realizes that their reinforcements came in the form of a Decepticon, who after the Great War was granted amnesty and rebuilt as a dirty, stinking Predacon.
Preds.
Shots are fired, knocking all of the Maximals' weapons out of their hands. The mysterious assailant jumps into the bridge and reveals himself as Ravage. That's right. Ravage gonna attack Ravage. Ravage from Soundwave. Ravage.
Rabbits.
From Soundwave. He's one of the tapes. And he was in Transformers 2.
It was the Guns N' Roses tape.
Revenge of the Fallen. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, I know.
They also have a Soundwave of these, but they didn't have it. Random facts with Maggie.
Do we need that? Is that a thing we need?
I don't know. Just let me go ahead and make it.
He apologizes for disarming them, saying that he was concerned that he might be attacked before he could explain himself. Rattrap appears to justify his caution, saying that the only thing worse than a Predacon is a Decepticon. Optimus Primal shoves Rattrap aside and orders him to shut up, but does inform Ravage that they've been fighting Megatron for a while in a less than friendly manner. Ravage offers his apologies. "I offer my apologies for the Predacon Alliance for Megatron's actions, insisting that the Alliance did not sanction them, and says that he is here to help neutralize Megatron." What?
I didn't realize one of Soundwave's cassette tapes was Russian.
From Russia.
With love.
Kermit the Frog. But he lies, insisting that the Alliance did not sanction them, and says that he is here to help neutralize Megatron. But he lies about the transwarp wave, saying that it was too weak for anything but the Predacon sensors to detect, and that the reason he's alone is because they detected Megatron's energy signature only, hoping to settle this quietly. What? You keep making finger guns. Like, what's going on?
Oh, I was waving at your mom.
Yo.
And Reboot Ranger.
Hey.
Send a good vibes.
Hey, what's up, Reboot Ranger? Welcome everybody. Ravage's transwarp cruiser takes off from the Axelon with the Maximals on board. Cheetor is still unsure about their plan, but Ravage notes that the ship will provide advantages such as the ability to use bone cloaking ability. And Ravage observes that they have another one inside the Predacon base as well, a secret agent named Boris and Natasha.
What? From Rocky and Bullwinkle? Dang, man.
That's right, everybody. We make the topical references on the show.
We talk about cartoons that don't even exist anymore.
Bullwinkle!
Hello, Rocky.
Oh my god. You remember Uncle Joey on Full House?
Yes.
God.
Bullwinkle.
Shut the fuck up, Uncle Joey. This sets off alarms in Tarantulas' lair, and he transforms and rolls out in the same direction as the cruiser. Ravage and the Maximals attack the Predacon base, while Silverbolt ignores Optimus's orders to take down Black Arachnia, who takes off towards Waspinator's secret location. Waspinator will take care of this. Waspinator will need Boris and Natasha to help him today.
Waspinator.
Shut the fuck up, Uncle Joey.
I'm not Uncle Joey. Oh,
Stop! This sounds terrible. Ravage begins firing upon the down Predacon ship. Megatron orders his troops to keep fighting, but suddenly he is bound to his chair with energy rings as the base's power is cut. Ravage, Optimus, Rattrap, and Rhinox walk in, and Ravage places Megatron under arrest. And the Beast Wars are over. To be continued.
To be continued.
Did it ever say that Tarantulas was the secret agent?
No, you said it's Boris and Natasha.
I know, but I mean, like, it never...
You never said who it was.
I mean, it never told. Yeah, it never told.
Tarantula.
But I mean, they say it in the show. Like, they show who it is, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Into the agenda, part 2, episode 38 overall. Air date was March 12th, 1998. Written by Bob Forward. Directed by Owen Hurley, whose previous episodes include Dark Designs, Possession, and The Agenda Part 2. I feel like we just read him. With Megatron a prisoner and the Predacon scattered, the Maximals prepare to wrap this thing up. Optimus Primal summons Silverbolt to his office and comes down on him about Black Arachnia. How long has this shit been happening?
How long has it been? What?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Silverbolt points out that she was originally a Maximal protoform and that he himself was a Predacon once, but Primal counters that Black Arachnia is evil to the core, whereas Silverbolt just didn't know any better. He confines Silverbolt to quarters and dispatches Cheetor to deal with Black Arachnia, despite Silverbolt's request to be sent, if only to protect Cheetor. In his cell, Megatron berates Ravage for siding with the Maximals, to which Ravage responds that Megatron is an inferior leader who, compared to his namesake. Megatron also points out that Ravage's ship is depleted of energon, and he offers a stash of cubes for his freedom, but Ravage reveals he already knows the stash's location, as Tarantulas is a lieutenant in the Predacon Secret Police. Cheetor prepares to go out for Black Arachnia, but first apologizes to Silverbolt. Hey,
big dog.
Hey, big dog. Listen.
I'm sorry.
I feel you, man. Black Arachnia, she's the only female bot around.
She's the only female bot that's ever kicked me in the face.
And I get it. Man, do I get it. But you know, big dog, it's going to be okay. I'll go easy on her, okay? Don't you worry. Cheetor? Yeah. I'm sorry. What
is it, big
what
dog?
are you sorry for, big dog? For this. Boom! Ow! What the hell was that?
Big dog. What
Dad? Dad, it's me, Gohan. What am I doing here, Dad? Dad?
I'm not your dad.
Oh, sorry.
Piccolo.
I have nothing. It is Cell, blah, blah, blah. Cheetor apologizes to Silverbolt, but Silverbolt also apologizes for the punch he gives Cheetor right afterward. The pair are interrupted by Rattrap. Slag!
Not another use of one of you
Shit.
turning on us.
Forcing Silverbolt to flee the base. Heading out to retrieve the Energon cubes, Cheetor complains to Optimus about the rough treatment Silverbolt gave him. Yeah, that dog needs to be spayed or neutered.
It needs to be put on a leash.
He needs... Bob Barker was right. He offers... Wait, sorry, I'm way off. They arrive at the cave Tarantulas had indicated, carefully venturing inside, only to find the Energon is in the form of unstable crystals, and Inferno is waiting to ambush them, yes.
For the royalty.
Silverbolt locates Black Arachnia, following Waspinator to a mountain. Silverbolt begs her to come in, but Black Arachnia claims to have no feelings for him at all. To prove her point, she shoots him. But as Silverbolt points out, it was a non-fatal, saying she does care for him and won't simply kill him. While they are distracted, the hover pod they're in rams into Waspinator, shattering both. But Silverbolt saves Black Arachnia. Waspinator is out of luck, as usual.
As always.
Back at the cave, Inferno is beginning to suffer from the Energon buildup. Cackling madly, he ignites the crystals in an attempt to destroy Optimus and Cheetor. The chain reaction destroys the mountain and seemingly incinerates Inferno, but the two Maximals manage to escape. Once they're safe, Optimus informs Ravage of what happened. Side note, I had him down as dead. He actually is not dead.
Yeah, Inferno lives.
I mean, he should be dead.
Back from the pit.
I don't know how long he lives for, but like, I'm pretty sure I don't remember him being in the final episode.
Okay.
So I could have swore this was it. I mean, he disintegrated. Like any other time they've done that, they've died. Yeah. And then I guess he's in season 3 at some point. So I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Back at the cave. Nope. At his ship, Ravage confronts Megatron over his treachery. Megatron points out that Ravage intends to kill them all, Maximal and Predacon. Ravage admits to this and arms the vessel's internal autoguns. Desperate, Megatron reveals he had ulterior motives for stealing the golden disc, something which could affect the Great War. I doubt it very much, pointing out the disc's destruction, but allows Megatron to convince him. Released from his power bonds, the Predacon commander reveals that he still has a fragment of the disc, and it holds proof that Ravage will believe. A message from the original Megatron, leader of the Decepticons! You, Prime!
Starscream?
No! Megatron! Remember, his voice was different than our Megatrons now. I don't know what he sounded like. I don't know. Remember, he was a gun.
Yeah.
And somebody else had to pull his trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Starscream did.
Yes, Starscream! Pull my trigger so I can blast in your mouth.
What? You want me to
Noting his,
hurt myself?
Instructions. Noting his potential defeat, Megatron left instructions for the descendants of the Decepticons to use transwarp technology to travel back in time to ancient Earth. Although the message cuts out partway through, the Predacon's gambit succeeds. Ravage, moved by the sight of his former leader, releases Megatron. At the mountain, Black Arachnia and Silverbolt discover that Megatron was already there, having dug a tunnel and then sealed it. Despite Black Arachnia's constant demands that Silverbolt leave, he refuses, and she reluctantly accepts his help in dispensing of one of the larger rocks. As Optimus and Cheetor return to the Axelon, Optimus radios ahead for a status report and is warned by Rattrap, we got the good news and we got some bad news.
So good news, go Mets.
And as for the bad news, he switched sides.
We're all gonna go die. Gonna die. Sorry.
Rattrap that they no longer need
tongue-tied.
to be subordinate to Ravage. He switched sides. The warning is just a little too late as the transwarp cruiser with Megatron riding atop shifts into the view behind the pair. As Ravage transforms to interface with his ship, the Predacons launch an attack. Item of the cassette tape again. I would have thought that they would have had at least a seated players in this transwarp ship, but I guess now it is how you say MP3. It's retro. I am cassette in the same way people buy vinyl records.
I don't think that's how it works, man.
Nah. You silly little pickle. You silly little peas. You'll think that walking around will bring the city to its knees. The awesome power of this wall we've clearly demonstrated. But
Bane?
out here in the hot sun, perhaps you're dehydrated. Keep walking, but you won't knock down our wall. Keep walking. To be continued. It was so weird when VeggieTales showed up at the end of this episode.
I
So
thought it was
weird.
Bane.
Maggie, what'd you think? What'd you think of this episode?
It was really good. I like the fact that they started to lean in a little bit more towards Silverbolt. Yeah, Silverbolt and Black Arachnia's relationship.
Witch! Yeah, no, it was weird. I will say it was a bit weird that that Silverbolt turned. Like, I know he's just going to save her, right? But like, he's been so like
Noble.
yeah, and like I don't know. It was a hard right turn for him, and like I mean I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have done it. They could have led to it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I know they've been slowly seeding this, over past several episodes, but I don't know. It just would have been could have been better.
All right, catching up in chat. Glad you could make it to the live to Reboot Ranger. And
Yes.
Eric says your Ravage sounds like the one dude from Phantom Menace, the guy with wings.
Annie.
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 And he says Decepticons forever. And also he says Ravage.
No, we do not accept credits.
Ravage reveals Tarantulas' rank to Megatron and shows him on screen as Megatron is handcuffed. And he asks Ravage, how did you disable the auto guns on the dark side? And he also says, as he transforms, he screams,
Decepticons forever.
Annie.
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 This is my Russian accent.
Do it.
It is not that great, but I will crush you.
I'm trying to do a Russian impression in my head. And
Kermit the Frog here. Why is Ravage Russian? I actually have an answer.
Russian. What?
I actually have an answer for that.
What? It was the 80s.
No,
Cold War.
No.
No.
This is 1998. First off,
Cold War.
All right, so I'll get into it in our Transformers references.
Okay.
At the end of this. So next up, we got episode 39, the season finale of season 2 of Beast Wars. Original air date was March 12th, 1998. Exactly, not 25 years ago today, but close. Written by Bob Forward. Directed by Asif Fipke and Colin Davies. The previous episodes, only this episode for Asif, but Colin also directed The Spark, Other Voices Part 1, Aftermath, Other Voices Part 2, Other Visits Part 2, and The Agenda Part 3. So he did Other Voices Part 1, Other Visits Part 2, and The Agenda Part 3. It's a trilogy. With Ravage and his transwarp cruiser backing them up, the Predacons unleash a full assault on the Maximal base. Rattrap changes to beast mode and jumps onto the back of the transwarp cruiser where he begins cutting into the ship's hull. On the battlefield, Optimus and Cheetor are pinned down by the Predacons' firepower, but the autoguns manage to knock Quickstrike from his perch atop Rampage, and a short time later, the larger Predacon runs him over. That was great.
Yeah.
And just runs him over. He's like, I don't even really want to be here. He's like, Rampage reminds me of Dante from Clerks.
I
He's
can
there,
see
but
that.
like he doesn't really want to be there. He's like, I'm not even supposed to be here today. That's how I'm gonna do Rampage's voice from now on. It's just gonna be Dante. Oh, Megatron. It's not long before Ravage and It's not long before Ravage and Rampage bring down the base's shield, and Rhinox emerges to. There's too many R names going on right now. Ravage, Rampage, and Rhinox.
A Ravage, a Rampage, and a Rhinox.
Ravage has Tarantulas transfer all the cruiser's power into one enormous missile. Before it can fire, Rattrap bursts into the ship's weapons hold and tosses a pair of fusing grenades that adhere to Tarantulas' hands. Ah, witch! The bombs obliterate Tarantulas, the ship's interior, and Ravage, who faces the on-crushing fireball with a stoic cry of Decepticons forever! The cruiser falls out of the sky, coming to rest mere feet from Rampage, who is then blasted by the still-armed missile. With the cruiser destroyed and his minions out of commission, Megatron flees. Optimus notes that he's not headed back to the base, realizes where he's probably going, and orders the Maximals to pursue. Meanwhile, Black Arachne and Silverbolt make their way into the caves of the volcano, uncovering the object of Black Arachnia's quest, the Ark.
Yes.
Of the Covenant.
Indiana Jones.
Black Arachne explains to Silverbolt that the ship, the Ark, was launched long ago, containing the Autobots' finest heroes, and was shot down by Decepticons. The ship has members of both factions stored inside, who will awaken in the distant future to restart the Great War.
Yep.
Black Arachne is concerned only with the power it possesses, but Megatron arrives just then, blasting Silverbolt offline and sealing the entrance to the caves behind him. The Maximals arrive hot on his heels, find the sealed entrance, and start digging their way inside. Megatron threatens to vaporize Silverbolt, convincing Black Arachne to use the access codes to gain access to the Ark, though she vehemently maintains it's only so they'll have some cover in the face of the imminent Maximal attack. The Maximals burst through in time to see the two Predacons sealing the Ark behind them. Black Arachne activates the ship's defenses to hold off the Maximals, while Megatron goes to effect a more permanent solution, yes. Entering the main bridge of the ship, he hovers among the fallen Autobots and Decepticons, eulogizing the Decepticons and cursing the Autobots, until he comes face to face with his intended target, the original Optimus Prime. Transformers. The original leader of the Autobots who kept the Decepticons from victory and therefore left their Predacon descendants in a subservient position to the dominant Maximals. Though the risk is incredible, Megatron decides to carry out his namesake's instructions, charges his main weapon, and prepares to fire. In the caves, the Maximals are pelted by fire from the ship's cannon until Rattrap manages to force a backblast that deactivates the cannon and shields. Rhinox struggles to open the mighty doors of the Ark, but the Maximals are too late. Megatron unleashes a full-power blast at Optimus Prime's head, destroying it.
Oh, man.
A time storm immediately wells up, spreading outward from the Ark and into space. The Maximals find themselves phasing in and out of past bodies as well as out of existence, as Megatron emerges from the Ark, triumphant. You no longer exist! To be continued. That was the season 2 finale. Maggie, what did you think of this finale?
It was wild just seeing the ship and seeing all the
Right?
Autobots.
How
and
freaking great was that?
slain there.
How freaking cool was that?
Crazy.
Dude, so like, okay, fun story. And I haven't been able to tell you any of this stuff because obviously we haven't watched this until now. So when I watched the original, not the original, but when I went and watched the Transformers Michael Bay movie, after that, of course, I talked about in the earlier episode that me and Billy hung out at a lake and talked for like 5 hours about Transformers lore, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of mine was coming from Beast Wars, of course.
Yeah.
And we went to Circuit City, and they had Transformers the movie on sale, and then they also had I want to say Transformers season 1 possibly, or I may have bought that later in life. But either way, when I got season 1 and put in the disc and watched the pilot episodes, right, the 3-part that we watched for this, and it shows them crash into the volcano, and then it says something like 35 million years later or something, right? And like it just slowly goes from like dinosaurs to modern day. It blew my mind because the entirety of Beast Wars happens in that like half a second, you know? And I just thought that was such a really clever idea for Beast Wars to actually impact the original series in that way. Yeah. And like that we never knew of this entire like secret war that happened, you know, off screen. Yeah. And I don't know. I thought that was really cool. That is cool. Yeah. It is like, really cool. It really makes me hopeful that the Beast Wars in the Rise of the Beasts, that somehow, I mean, okay, because like think about it, right? We see Optimus Primal and he's like, we're not the ones you should fear, Prime. Yeah. And Prime's like, what do you mean, Primal? Like, so what if it's kind of like a similar situation where the Maximals are like the future descendants of the Autobots, but they've come back in time to like, not even now, but like way long ago. And instead of meeting up with like the Ark and stuff back then, they actually meet up with the Transformers like in 1992 or whatever the hell the movie takes place. And like it's that same kind of story structure. Yeah. Like that would be great. It would be. If they actually like take like this kind of little plot and like kind of shift it just a little so they can actually interact with each other. I think that'd be really freaking cool. Yeah. So I'm going to be really let down when that's not the case in Rise of the Beasts. Oh my God. If we don't get Waspinator, I'm going to be very sad. We're not getting Waspinator, just so you know. It's time for the countdown to Beasts. I felt that was really loud.
It was in my headphones.
Okay. We are 12 weeks away until the Beasts rise.
That's bananas.
And he's a monkey. This has been the countdown to Beasts. All right, let's get into war. What is it good for?
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
All right, episode 9. This is how the war has progressed so far. In episode 9, Megatron proves he has the power to change the past and future. Dinobot defends the future humans and preserves the timeline for now. In episode 11, Ravage comes to Earth to take Megatron prisoner, thus ending the Beast Wars. And then in episode 12, Megatron convinces Ravage to join him and defeat the Maximals and prevent the Autobots from winning the Great War. And of course, in episode 13, Megatron destroys the entire timeline of Transformers. So that's kind of where we leave it, you know. Yeah. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that, Maggie? What do you think?
Just bring it all back.
Bring it all back to you.
Going back in time.
Say that. Wait.
Boom, 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 boom. Right. Back in time.
Time to go. Welcome the newbies that joined us this week. Yeah. There it is. So this week we added quite a few people showed up in Beast Wars. Some that we are aware of, some we didn't know. So we had on the Maximal side, Transmutate. Yeah, I'm putting him down as Maximal. On the Predacon side, we had Ravage.
Yeah, a Ravage.
On the Autobot side, we had Prowl, Optimus Prime, Ironhide, Jazz, and Ratchet.
Hey.
All showed up.
And Hot Rod.
And on the Decepticon side, we had Skywarp, Starscream, and Soundwave. Mm-hmm. All showed up. Which I don't think they were on the ship. I think it was maybe shown in like clips or something. Yeah. All right. Now it's time to talk about those that we lost this week. Our dear friends. This week we lost, of course, Dinobot and Transmutate. Lost them both. I did have Inferno on here until I was made aware that he did not die. So, yeah. I feel, honestly, kind of crazy that we lost Dinobot. I'll be honest. Rest easy, you bitch. All right, now we're gonna get to that's just Prime.
Rest in
Well,
peace,
that's
Dinobot.
just crime.
The P is for pie. All right, so
Pie day.
so, I don't know why I became Ed McMahon there for a second. So these are words of leadership that we heard this week. So in episode 9, the question that once haunted my being has been answered. The future is not fixed, and my choices are my own. And yet, how ironic, for I now find that I have no choice at all. I am a warrior. Let the battle be joined. That's Dinobot. Yeah, hey, quick strike. What's a warrior? What's a warrior without any weapons, eh? A warrior still. And beats him in the face.
Yeah.
Tell my tale to those who ask. Tell it truly. The ill deeds along with the good, and let me be judged accordingly. The rest is silence. He lived a warrior and died a hero. Let his spark join the Matrix, the greatest of Cybertron. Rest in peace, bitch.
No. Stop doing that to him.
Episode 10. Here we go. Ready? Friend.
Friend.
Good. Friend. Dark. I am hurt. That's it. Words of leadership I've never heard before, you know. Episode 11. Oh, for booting up cold. The only thing worse than a stinking pred is a stinking Decepticon. I feel like I didn't hit it.
You did hit it.
I feel
hit
like I
my
didn't.
eardrums sharp.
This is Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. And if you're hearing this, it means I failed this time.
How many times have you done it, bro?
Episode 13. Now I enter these hollowed halls, a conqueror, yes. Autobots and Decepticons still frozen in energy stasis, awaiting the moment 4 million years hence when they will awaken to start the Great War. The Great War. When the Autobots defeated the Decepticons, and thus their descendants, the Maximals, rule we Predacons. Archaic energon guzzlers. How dare they? Unwilling though I was to follow my namesake's instructions, it has all come down to this. The ultimate risk for the ultimate prize. A day of reckoning with those who made us slaves. So, we are now face to face, Optimus Prime. In one future, you awaken and become the great leader of the Autobots. But time shall take a different track.
Yeah.
Yes. Computer, all available power to primary weapon. And now, Optimus Prime, in memory of the Decepticons, for the glory of the Predacons, for the Cybertron that is rightfully ours and mine to rule, I unleash the storm of vengeance. Farewell.
Batman?
Say goodbye to the universe, Maximals. The future has changed, yes. The Autobots lose, evil triumphs, and you no longer exist.
You shall not pass.
All right. Now that my voice is completely gone, let's get into Traitor. Treacherous actions.
Traitor!
I wish we could hear that music. Episode 12. Silverbolt disobeys Optimus's orders and punches Cheetor. Ow, doggy butt! Ravage kinda turns against the Maximals and the Predacons Council. Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. Does he?
He turns his back on the
He definitely does on the
Maximals.
Maximals.
Yeah, but he turns his back on those elders because he was supposed to bring in Megatron.
Don't you think they probably would have wanted? Probably would have wanted him to do what he does, though.
I don't know.
To get the Decepticons to
know.
rise. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, now it's time to get into puberty, but it's Transformers. There it is.
Yeah. Big change. Bingo.
Oh my god. Episode 12, Black Arachne and Silverbolt finally kiss. Oh, Black Arachne. Dad. No, let's get into Transformers references, part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
You become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
Episode 9. Here you go, Maggie. Here's some answers you've been asking, okay? Answers for questions you've been asking.
I've been asking answers.
The Voyager disc resembles an old record, complete with being labeled The Sounds of Earth, instead of the design used since its appearance in the first episode. Given its origin as a record in a canister, however, it's possible that Megatron has simply taken it out of its case to test the theory of time meddling. Dinobot is, of course, still dealing with the fallout of his temporary defection as seen in Maximal No More.
I'm sorry. So, back to these itty bitty Transformers.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh no.
Rhinox refers...
No, I was going to talk about these.
I'm sure I'll need you again. Rhinox
No, you
refers
won't.
to the transwarp wave, which was caused by the destruction of the Planet Buster and Other Voices Part 2. There we go. Tarantulas mentions that Megatron doesn't want anyone downloading more copies of the disk data, referring to Black Arachne's little heist in Coming of the Fusors Part 2. Oh my god. This is the last episode to have Rhinox appear in beast mode. For the rest of the series, Rhinox remains in robot mode. Megatron states that it was thanks to the humans that the Autobots won the Great War, likely referring to the exploits of the Witwickies. Spike.
Sam and Spike.
Well, there wasn't a Sam. There was a Spike and a Tommy.
Tommy.
Was it Tommy?
Was it? No, it wasn't Tommy.
But Dad! Dad!
Shut up!
Hot Rod, you're my friend, Dad!
Oh my god.
It was the worst. God. Justin from Power Rangers Turbo all over again. Nothing but love for Justin. All right.
No.
Annoyed the bejesus out of me back in the day. But hey, that's not his fault. It's not the actor's fault. Just like Anakin.
Yeah.
The golden disc that Megatron stole from Cybertron and kicked off this whole mess is revealed to be one of the 2 golden records aboard the Voyager Deep Space Probe. Daniel! Dad, it's me, Daniel! When are you coming home, Dad?
Never.
Dad, why are you always with Bumblebee? I'm your son!
It's because I don't like you.
But, Dad!
Can you just shut up for the love of God?
All right.
You're so annoying.
The whole mess is revealed to be one of the 2 golden records aboard the Voyager Deep Space Probe, specifically the Sounds of Earth. That said, the golden disc can apparently play video. As the Predacons jump into the valley to destroy the humanoids, the hominids.
Homo sapiens.
Hominids. Rampage crushes a butterfly. This evokes the famous Ray Bradbury's short story, A Sound of Thunder, in which a time traveler in the past steps on a butterfly, thus dramatically altering the future of humanity. Dinobot's final words, "The rest is silence," are taken directly from the final words of the title character in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Beast Wars story editor Bob Forward and Larry DiTilio worked various references to the online Transformers fandom into the series. In this case, Cheetor citing Tingu Sector was a reference to the screen name of Rob Gerbach, who went on to become one of the writers for the Wreckers comic book series. I don't know what that is. The final shot of the episode, a anthropod discovering the power of tools and triumphantly hurling his weapon into the air, followed by a pan into space, is evocative of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Episode 10, Rattrap swears by the name of his great aunt RC. This may be a double reference, considering both RC and Transmutate are both voiced by Susan Blue. So Rattrap's great aunt was RC.
I guess so.
Is that why he has wheels?
I don't know.
Is it in the blood or the oil? What do Transformers have? Do they have
It's
oil?
the oil that gives me strength
Definitely gives a new meaning to oil check.
from day.
Here we go. Rattrap compares Transmutate to an erector set. This is the first episode of Beast Wars to not feature Waspinator.
Yep.
Episode 11. The entire idea that Transwarp Wavefront is reaching Cybertron in the future now, and that consequently Megatron must launch a decisive attack against the Maximals before Cybertron reinforcements arrive, is confusing. Any ships sent from Cybertron to rescue Primal's crew are traveling back in time in order to reach them on prehistoric Earth. So why would they have to arrive at a certain moment? They could travel to any point after or even before the Axelon and Darkseid crashed. There you go. Optimus notes that most of the Decepticons that survived the Great War have retired. Ravage was one of the original cassette robots to serve under Soundwave in the original cartoons and comics. After the Great War, a few Decepticons were granted amnesty. Most have retired, but rumor has it that one was reprogrammed and rebuilt as a Predacon, as Optimus explains who Ravage is. 6 lasers over Cybertron, which Cheetor gets excited about, is a reference to Six Flags. Ravage's interaction with the Maximals is highly reminiscent of the depiction of cooperative Soviet operatives in American fiction during the Cold War. The accent, the diplomatic politeness, the suggestion that only Predacon technology was adequate enough to detect the transwarp wave is all stereotypical of an 80s spy movie or G.I. Joe episode, where the American heroes must work with Soviet agents for the greater good. So you were right, it was the Cold War. The trepidatious council members shown at the beginning of the episode were meant to be the trepidatious,
Trepidation.
Gestalt toy components, and were even referred to by their individual names in the original script. However, time constraints prevented the renders for the figures from exactly matching the toys they were based on, so Hasbro asked that their individual names not be referred to, though the Gestalt name was still used for the group. In episode 12, Decepticons Forever, Ravage yells before transforming with the traditional noise into a humongous mini cassette. Gen 1 Megatron makes an appearance via the Golden Disc. Originally, get this sucks, alright? Screw Viv Media or whoever the hell, whoever it was, alright? For not paying the money for this. Originally, when Ravage transformed and inserted his cassette mode into the control console, the original cartoon's theme song was going to play during his first cry of Decepticons Forever and subsequent attack on the Axelon. However, due to copyright constraints, this plan was dropped and a more generic song was put in its place. Boo. Stupid. Biggest letdown. That would have been fantastic. Can you imagine if we were just watching this and then all of a sudden it went, Transformers!
What?
More than meets the eyes.
What?
I'll flip my fucking lid, man. Efforts were made to get Frank Welker to provide the voice for Megatron's message, but financial and scheduling conflicts precluded this from happening. Garry Chalk voiced him instead, ironic, as he originally auditioned for the part of this series' Megatron before being cast as Optimus Primal.
It's interesting.
Finally, episode 13. This episode finally reveals why Optimus has been so worried about Megatron's activities for the past few episodes. He's afraid that Megatron will use this information on the Golden Disc to find the Ark and alter history. Presumably, this is the matter of great importance Dinobot wished to speak with Optimus about at the end of Maximal No More. Black Arachnia downloaded the disc data along with the access codes for the Ark in Coming of the Fusors Part 2. As the time storm starts messing with the universe, Optimus starts warping between the robot and beast modes of both his current transmetal form and the original organic body. We have the Ark itself, the spaceship that carried the Autobots to Earth in the Generation 1 cartoons and comics. The Ark is pursued, boarded, and shot down by the Decepticon warship Nemesis, another component of the Generation 1 origin story. Black Arachnia briefly retells the facts to Silverbolt, presumably for the benefit of the viewers who hadn't seen the original tale. Like me, first time I watched this. Black Arachnia's flashback shows the Ark launching off an ancient Cybertron. Manning the bridge of the Ark in flashback, pictured right, are Prowl, Ironhide, Optimus Prime, Jazz, and Ratchet. The volcano the Ark crashes into is unnamed in this episode, although G1 fans will immediately recognize it as the fictional Mount St. Hilary. As Megatron boards the Ark, Optimus swears by promise. The Ark is protected by Teletran 1, who also receives a name drop in the episode. More G1 characters show up as Megatron makes his way through the Ark's bridge. Prowl, Jazz, and Prime reappear, along with Skywarp, Starscream, and Soundwave. Interestingly, Jazz and Prowl use variations of their Marvel Comics color models, appearing partially blue rather than black. Megatron gloats that the Autobots and Decepticons will sleep for 4 million years. That was the given length of time between the crash of the Ark and the awakening of the Transformers in the original cartoon. Assuming Megatron is correct, the Ark has only very recently crashed. In reference to the strength of the Ark, Rattrap claims that ship wasn't built, it was poured. And Primal replies, die-cast construction, it's a lost art. In an homage to the original Transformers toys, which featured some die-cast parts. And they were all plastic. The Ark has a fusion cannon to help deter intruders, a weapon that's more famously found on Generation 1 Megatron's right arm. As Rattrap rides the missile connected with Ravage's ship, he lets out a cowboy yell, homaging Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. The word suckers is written on the giant missile in Cybertronics. Megatron's plan would seem to be temporarily problematic, since such a drastic change could have wiped out the Predacons and himself just as easily as the Maximals. Small wonder he was reluctant to follow his namesake's instructions and regards it as the ultimate risk. Megatron's ending in the Beast Wars Transmetals video game further elaborates on this, stating that with Optimus Prime dead, there would be no Matrix, and as such, nothing to stop Unicron from destroying Cybertron, an act that would wipe out Autobots and Decepticons. Not really thinking ahead.
Yeah,
They're really thinking ahead. But that's never been the Predacon's strong suit, you know. Yeah. Nearly every Predacon suffers a somewhat ambiguous death scene in this episode, likely done in the event the series was not picked up for another season. In the script for the episode on the 24th page, Optimus's transmetal form is referred to as Optimus Primal. As of now, this is the only time that moniker has ever been used. That's it.
Fun times.
Let's talk about next time on Beast Wars.
Next time.
Next time, episodes. We're going to do 4 episodes next week. So we got episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 of season 3.
All right.
So episode 3.1, optimal situation. Episode 3.2, deep metal. Episode 3.3, changing of the guard. And episode 3.4, cutting edge.
Okay.
Maggie, what are your thoughts?
I really like how season 2 ended. I really love the callback to the Gen 1.
Totally worth having watched those 3 episodes.
Yes, it paid off.
Yeah. That's the main reason we watched those, was so that this would make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how season 3 starts. Right?
Yeah. Season 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apologies for my drowsiness. But I'm really excited to see how it starts. It just, there's so many questions like what's going to happen.
Yeah. How are they going to come out of this on the other
Yeah.
side? Like what happens?
Yeah.
And I will say it changes things. Like, as much as has changed between season 1 and season 2, I think this is an even bigger change than that. And like, it definitely sets up the fact that this is the final season. Like, this feels like the final act of a 3-act story. Like, I feel like not many episodes in this are wasted.
Yeah.
Eric in the chat calls out one of my favorite characters debuts in Deep Metal. Eric, remind me, I believe, is it Depth Charge that shows up? Is that the name? I can't remember. Let me know. But I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. But yeah, because I know that's one character I know that's coming up. Which we won't obviously get too deep into the spoilers for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a good season. I can't believe we only have 3 more weeks of Beast Wars. Only 3 weeks of Beast Wars until it's over. And then we go into Beast Machines. Maggie, you're not ready for Beast Machines, okay? You're not prepared.
I remember the commercials for the toys.
Now, I'm just going to say this, okay? Depth Charge. Yep. Yes. Yes, he is. Bad Mama Jamma. But I do like Depth Charge. I think I actually have I think it was like Burger King Beast Wars toy of Depth Charge. I think it was Burger King. I could be wrong. But like it barely did anything. Like it just like the thing like closed and like yeah. Anyway, sorry. Way off base here. I think I have that though. But yeah, I'll go ahead and say this, okay? I'm just going to preface this. Okay. Beast Wars, we are at the peak of the best of the Beast Wars saga. Okay. After we finish season 3,
Byron happens.
It starts going downhill. All right, and nothing against Beast Machines. I'm hoping in my heart. I remember it not being great. Okay. I remember being very confused a lot of the time, and kind of rolling my eyes at a lot of it. Yeah. But I was also 12, so hopefully it's a lot better now than what I remember it being.
Yeah.
But we will watch it either way.
We will.
So just, I guess all I'm trying to say is enjoy what we have left.
I will.
Enjoy it, Maggie. Soak it up.
I'm going to. It up. God. Stop it.
All right, everybody. That's it.
Touch you.
That is it for this week's episode of Going Back to Beast Wars. We will be back again next week with Going Back to Beast Wars next Tuesday with the season 3 premiere, the first 4 episodes. Remember, if you would like to help support the show, head over to patreon.com/hopefullyawesome, where you can get exclusive features and many other things. You can also, if you can't do that, simple like, share, all those things help go a long way to help the algorithm gods to push us to more like-minded folks such as yourself. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:30 with
Going Back to Smallville.
Thank you. My voice is shot. Going Back to Smallville, where we will also be talking about the season 2 finale live. And then we'll be back again on Monday with our hopefully awesome show where we will be talking about Shazam Fury of the Gods. So hopefully we enjoy it. Who knows? I don't know. Honestly, I'm just biding my time until James Gunn's DC universe starts. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. And as always,
have a hopefully awesome day.
Bye. Oh, wait. Maximize.
I'm so hungry. Terrorize.
Jeez. Good
Hasta
job.
luego.
See you, Eric.